All right, guys, welcome to WagerTalk TV. We're having a great time today, as you can tell. I'm Kelly Stewart, joined by Tony Finn and Ralph Michaels. If you guys aren't giving them a follow, at CalSportsLV, at Finn at WagerTalk. All right, we're talking Dallas Cowboys at the Los Angeles Rams. Cowboys pretty hot as an underdog as of late, and Ralph's got a whole list of trends for you I'm going to let him get to, but I'll let Tony have the first word on this one.
Dallas and L.A. I was listening to some of the earlier videos, so I'm kind of, it's probably going to be a repeat, but one of your guests, I think very sharp guest too, by the way, so we'll pick up on this. There's a lot of variables that I take
Thank
in.
you, by the way, but I'm right here. You can look at me when you say that.
There's there's no mayor, but never mind.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There's some variables I take into consideration, the divisional round and beyond, obviously. A championship into the Super Bowl, the quarterback's important. I don't think there's a comparison quarterback. And the point I was getting to is that really, if you try to find an edge that Dallas has in this game, there aren't any.
Would you say they have the edge of O-line? Because I think that's been Jared Goff's problem as of late. He has not had enough time. They've been getting a lot of pressure on him as of late, and it's caused him to make mistakes.
I think that
and we saw this Dallas defense do it last week to Russell Wilson.
That's Seattle. This is the LA Rams.
True.
Two different animals.
I agree.
And home and away.
And home and away. And you know, I heard. Does the Coliseum give LA? There's going to be a lot of Dallas fans.
I do think
they travel well. Okay. However, offense, defense, especially, let's go even further. Special teams, there's nobody better in special teams than the Rams. I mean, there's no edge. Mac against Jason Garrett, no edge there for Dallas. Zero
I mean,
edge.
anytime I can bet against Jason Garrett, I do.
Absolutely.
But it took about, an entire 4 quarters for me to finally get the back door kicked in and to be able to cover that game. I thought I had a loser in my hand for
a lot of
at
people
least.
did.
I'll take that all day, but I prefer not to sweat games like that. And I'm looking at this Dallas Cowboys team, Ralph, going 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 in an underdog role. I mean, we've seen them go into Philly and went on the road. Granted, Philly was a little banged up at the time. We saw them at home with the Saints and be able to pull off the upset. This Dallas team, I have to give a little bit more credit to than traditionally where I've kind of bagged on them. Last week, they definitely made me sweat. And I said, okay, listen, with Zeke, can they exploit that rush defense of the Rams? I think they can.
Well, again, Dallas is two different teams, before AC and after AC. I mean, there's no question. I mean, once they got Cooper, Zeke became a better runner. You could stretch the field. You can't play the safeties down low. You had to play a traditional two deep safety zone, and Zeke started running the ball better, and that makes makes O-line better and makes Dak Prescott better. You know, the one thing that Dallas's weakness is to the play action. Those guys bite a lot. Russell Wilson was 9 out of 10 last week in play action. The Rams are play-action kings, of course, with Gurley and Goff. The thing I like...
Now I know where Prez got that this morning on the presidential address.
Oh.
He stole it from Ralph.
No, he asked. I emailed it to you.
Oh, yeah, you emailed us the notes. I just didn't read them. I'm sorry.
Prez said, can you send me some notes on the games? And so of course I said that.
This is funny because I literally just typed it in the middle of our address. I was like, oh, I'm using that one. That's a great... You make a great point about the play action. Sorry for cutting you off.
And, you have the play-action kings with Goff and, with Goff and Gurley. So, to me, it's this. I think Dallas ran the ball, I think, 36 times last week against Seattle. For Dallas to have any chance, they're going to have to run between 35 and 40 times in this game to keep the game close. For that reason, I like the under. Now, when I look at the Rams defense, you think of the Rams the first 4 or 5 weeks. And if I told you at the end of the year, that team where we have, 4 number 1 draft choices as your starting defensive line. If I told you on the season they are allowing 5.1 yards per carry and they are allowing 65% completions, you would drop your jaw. You would think there's no way that Rams defense with that personnel can give up those yards. Now, while that may not dictate to when you give up those kind of numbers on defense, you don't think of a defensive under game. But because I think the Rams can run against that, because the Cowboys can run against that defense, it runs the clock and slows it down because of that poor defense. So to me, I think the number's too high.
At
with
49.5?
I think it's an advantage that the Rams lost last year to Atlanta at home. They have that game under their belt where Goff got some experience, obviously much more experience this year. But I think both guys have young quarterbacks. They don't want their quarterbacks to lose the game for them. Therefore, run the ball, both sides.
All right, Tony, do you agree with anything Ralph said?
Yes.
Do you disagree?
I agree with lots of it. I think the total is a little high. I think if you like Dallas, and I think I'm getting a feel that you guys think Dallas can hang here, then you have to like the under here. They're not going to keep up with
My big
Rams.
thing with Dallas can hang is, do I trust the Rams to win by 7? I bet the Rams twice this year laying points, and both times I held a losing ticket.
Well, Rams covered against the Chargers earlier this year. Since that time against winning teams, they're 0-5-2 against the spread. So they haven't covered against a winning team.
Some
They
of the
just
numbers,
can't. It's
some of
just
the
too many
numbers he
points.
threw out, the rushing, passing. Listen, first off, Gurley's 3 games rested. He's going to be ready to go.
And if he gets hurt, and this is a Broncos homer comment, C.J. Anderson is a very capable running back. I do think he will be fine. So people concerned about Gurley getting hurt, I'm not that concerned.
The secondary's healthy again, which they were not healthy for a large part of the second half of the season. And if you look at some adjusted numbers, not everyone has adjusted numbers. I have some adjusted numbers, and a lot of the Rams' defensive numbers are situational. They were ahead. They gave up everything underneath. They were just basically killing time, as one of your earlier guests suggested on our video.
All right, good stuff from both guys. Are you a member of the WagerTalk Text Club? It's 100% free. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to get a $10 coupon for signing up.